Okay, this is going to be the breakdown of how to print on the HP R1000. So if you look here, you have your share storage. You have here, you have Onyx. First things first, you figure out what you're going to be printing on, so the media or the material. You go to this box right here, the gear looking one. Click it there where it says current medium page. Then you have this window pop up. From there you have the media group. This is your overall type of media. You can click on the big one. You have aluminum composite, which will be your die bond. Foam board, which is foam board. You can go metal sheets, which will be your aluminum. You can do paper, plastic corrugated, which is coroplast. Plastic solid, which is your acrylics. Banner material, and then self-adhesive vinyl. We're going to be doing a wrap on a pillar with high-tack vinyl, so it would be under this category. From there, I look over here, it's already selected, but you go through here and find them. Here you'll have Grayback Alegria for anything softer that's going on an overlay like a sign. But we want this to stick, so it's going to be the Nakusa. HT stands for the high-tack self-adhesive. You also have window perforations, but we're going to go with the Nakusa high-tack. Once you click that, you shouldn't have to touch this, even if it's on a roll. What I have set up here is that it's the maximum width that machine can take by an unlimited length. This is good for any roll, and it's good for any material. Whether it's a 4x8 or 5x10, it should always fit on that. So this does not get touched. It's this up here that you're adjusting more than anything. Click OK, and then up here on the top right, you should see it change. It was already that, so it didn't change, but once you fix it, it should. You go back to here. You'll go, this is from the shared storage, so if you ever close this window and try to look for it, you go to the network, which would be Emily's shared storage. Well, that was awkward. Just click shared storage. From there, you go here, drop down to Onyx, which is the same program we were just on. From the Onyx, you want to click the R1000. From the R1000, you have everything here. Everything tends to get categorized in 2026. From 2026, you can choose date modified, and then now it's up here at 520. So once you get to the 520, you just click on today's date, pillar and cut. If you want, you can inspect it. You have your what it's supposed to look like here. The main thing I look for when I open an Acrobat is it's just a quick way to see if anything needs the color black or anything specific. It's the accurate logo, it's the blue, it's throwing white, which the material is already white, so it shouldn't throw any ink. It's just blue, reds, and whites, pretty much. So this should be fine. Just close it on Acrobat, grab it here, and you want to drag it into this big box here in the middle. You don't want to bring it down here, you don't want to throw it anywhere to the side, just straight in the middle, and just drop it there. From here, what you'll do is you don't change any of these settings, and you just go straight to open in job editor and click OK. Once you import it and open it up in job editor, you'll either see a screen here, and then you can go to the check mark at the bottom, and you can see the little window opens up. From here, this is where you can fix the job. The machine prints, imagine this is like inserting the top here, where you have the ruler for the x-axis. Imagine that is the mouth of the machine. So this is where you feed it into, going up that way. So if it's this way, you notice on the ruler here, it's 96 inches wide. That technically is showing you how wide that is. So it would not fit if you fix this to go in. Well, if you submit this to the machine on Onyx to want to print, it won't read it because it wants to go this way. What you have to do here is go to preview and rotate the cow 90 degrees. It could be in any way, whether you go the left or whether you go to the right. It has to go 90 degrees, and you push apply. If you don't push apply, nothing happens to it. So because it's a larger file, it's just going to take a minute from here, and there you go. Now it's upside down. Now if you see here, it's roughly 4 feet wide. by 8 feet long. So now you can see it all in one image. You can go here to printer media, and you can do printer media first. Typically I do. I just jumped over to the sizing first. And you make sure everything is correct. So it's self-adhesive vinyl, Nakusa high-tech self-adhesive, and then you go, here's your print mode. This is what typically will always have to get changed, and what's most important to look at. If you click here, you have all your print settings. So 300 DPI we don't even touch because we want the best quality. So everything will always be on the lower half on the bottom. From here, I have it labeled as just you can print high quality. And what you're looking for is a label, whether it's indoor signage, whatever it is, you're always looking for the setting that has the highest number of passes. For example, outdoor signage, 4 pass, indoor 6 pass, high quality is 12 pass, 120% ink density, and 6 color. What that means is that this does not throw white. It does 120% on the ink to make sure everything is filled and colored correctly, and 12 passes per section to make sure it's a little bit of a slower pace. Here you load it, and it says here, look, warning, the print mode or color profiles have changed. Press apply button to update the image preview. So same thing as when you're changing the sizing. If you don't push apply, nothing happens. So I'm going to push apply. It's going to refresh. Once it's refreshed, you're good to go. Again, the colors I tend to look out for, if you look over here under Google Sheets, I'll go back to the main Google Sheets. You have Onyx color codes. What that does is you have here 2 different tabs for print modes and color codes. You can look at a type of material and see how we're printing it. So you have here the media group, the media, and the print mode. That goes back to this. So when you're looking for any material to print, and this is what we call it here, this is the accurate name, whether it's Dibond, Coroplast, acrylic, white ink on acrylic, vinyl, banner, foam board, these are, the bold is the accurate, what we call them. This is on the printer. So if you look here, for example, right now we're doing vinyl. So what we have to do is I'm going to make one here in between this, so you have vinyl high-tech. You're going to look here for the media group on section 1, which is self-adhesive vinyl. Same thing up here. We're using the high-tech, so you're looking for Nakusa high-tech. If this was grayback, you would look for grayback, but the print settings themselves are the same. 600 DPI, high quality, 12 pass, 120 ink density, and then 6 colors. That's what we have here. 600 DPI, high quality, 12 pass, 120 ink density, 6 colors. Once that applied here, this is where I was going next, was to check your color codes. These are very common color codes that we're using at the moment. You have Metropolis purple. You have, anytime you use black, this is what we're using. This tends to be a bright red for an emergency red. Metropolis, we enforce red. Fire lane red. This is the red we've been using to keep everything consistent across the board. Metropolis gray, 1880 Century Park green. This tends to be some reserve signs. Maple Plaza blue. That was this color code here. Metropolis blue. Marina Towers blue. This is for Brookfield. ADA blue if we ever have to do handicap signs. And then Brush Dibond Navy Metropolis. This is, for example, the 1255 Jefferson out there next to Playa Vista. This is the color codes they got on their Brush Dibond. But yeah, so taking a look at here, there is no colors that we're going to change. It's red. Red is the accurate red. The blue is accurate blue. I don't have any of those codes here, so I trust that the machine's going to pick it up. If it ever makes changes, it tends to be very minor, like very, very close to where it's at. The black is the one, for whatever reason, that jumps a lot. So black, no matter where it is, I consistently change back to this. We've prepped all this. We've changed the preview and size to rotate it, and then it's good to import. You go up here to the printer where it says submit. Once the file is done ripping, it'll say here in green, waiting to print. You'll see an image here. This will tell you the media that you selected along with the print mode, just to confirm for the last time how you want to be sending it. From here, this is the little preview that you get, and you just come here to this part here and push print now. What that does is that it sends it over to the machine. and it pops up under the tab of the media group when you're looking at the queue, which we'll go look at right now. Here it'll tell you the process of how it's sending and what percent, so that way you know once it is already sent over. So once you finish importing the file from the computer and it's done ripping, you send it over to the machine. This is the home page. From here you have all your tabs on the bottom, along with just a general overview of what you have to do. Systems are okay, which means the machine is functioning properly. There are some maintenances that have to get done. You can check your ink levels. You can check your substrate if anything is loaded, what's expected, what the last thing you printed was. You can check your print heads. These yellow and black ones just mean that the dummy print heads are in. It means that the white print heads are not in. We're not wasting white ink every time it does a cleaning, and we're also not able to print white ink at the moment. From here, you can go to queue management. This is the everyday, this is what you'll see all the time. From here, you can go and click what type of material you want. If you forget what it is again, you just go strictly here. You look at the file you want to print. You need Nakusa high-tack, self-adhesive. You go to your substrates in the top left. You click on that, not click on load. From here, you have to set to the same settings. You have to go to substrate type. We don't use that many different types of medias and substrates. Typically, whatever you're looking for should always be under recently used. Generic paper, foam board, Grimco Max Metal for dye bond, Coroplast, self-adhesive vinyl, Nakusa high-tack. That's what we're looking for right there, so we're going to just click on that one. And then, because we're going to be feeding it on a roll, you have to grab these things that are typically down here. You're going to grab them and load them up here because the media has to be loaded here and go forward. You want to limit that to 1. Because we're using this is the tabletop roll setting. You have to go here and change it from sheet and change it to tabletop roll. This knows that you're feeding a roll, you're not just feeding a sheet of media. You go tabletop roll, position it with. This lets the machine read where it's located and how wide the material is. No edge holders. Length unknown. Length is unknown. Leave that as is. And then you can go ahead and push load. So while it has to prep, you can go over here on this side and find the Nakusa high-tack, which I believe is this one. And the easiest way to tell it is that it's white on both sides. It has a yellowish paper here, but Nakusa high-tack is white on both sides. If you wanted the gray back Alegria, it's gray back, hence the name. Once you have the media loaded to the tabletop roll, just take it and feed it forward. From here, I just like to grab it a little bit and kind of hold here for some tension and feed the table forward. What it does is, I think it starts to remove the skew a little bit and make sure that it's going to feed straight, especially when you're printing very close to the edges. So you just let it pull forward. You can hit it again to stop it, and from here you can push either this, you can push this, or you can step on the button here. All does the same thing, which will load the material. There you see it's taking the material. Perfect. Once it's ready to go, you can do this as you're loading the material. You can put it on after. I don't have a preference. You go there. Once it has the material down, you can push done. Once you have this loaded up, now the machine itself knows the size of the material and what you're going to be loading to feed. You go from here, you click, you can double tap the print that you're going to be doing. Make sure everything's correct, it's in the correct orientation. Same settings that you were planning on using. No modifications. Sometimes when it's on vinyl, just to be sure, in case the last cut wasn't straight, you can add a bit of a margin onto here. 1, 2, 3, however many inches you want. Whatever it is, so that way you don't, when this cuts across, you're not going to be on a skew. It'll all just be, make sure you're in the boundary. We'll do a 1 inch for now. Push OK. We want to make sure we're centered because we have 48 inches. Make sure we're centered to there, to the top. Save. Now what you do is you grab it, like if you're anything else, like a file, you can drag it around and just add it to the queue. From here, you should see it's a centered alignment. You have about a 1 inch margin on top that we gave it on the gap previously. You can see how far down here. You can see the length of the size that it's going to be using. It's the 96 inches from the design itself, plus the 1 inch margin, estimated around 24 minutes just for this print alone. From here, you can just hit print. Tells you here. The machine itself is going to start preparing it. Turn on the lights, so that way you can look at it from the other side as well.